Hello, beautiful humans of the internet. Happy Tuesday. I hope you are all having a lovely Tuesday. So today I get to go live with one of our amazing students, Jordan. Jordan actually just graduated today, so this is really fun and exciting. We're going to hear about Jordan's experience with Yes Supply, a little bit about her, all of that good stuff. So let me see. Yay! Hi, how are you?
I am doing so good. How are you doing, Riley?
I'm doing good. Thank you, Jordan, for joining me and chatting today. I'm so excited.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
Of course. Okay, so I was just telling everyone you graduated today, so the energy is high. You're officially a Yes Supply alumni, so that is so exciting. Jordan, can we start off chatting a little bit about you? Who are you? What are you up to? Kind of share a little bit about your story.
Yes, energy is definitely high today. Oh my gosh, it has been like just like such an emotional, but like the most fun day. And yeah, I'm so excited to do this live with you. So, okay, so hi everyone. My name is Jordan Flynn, and I help high achieving women exit the burnout cycle, really reconnect with themselves under. Reconnect with themselves underneath the patterns, the conditioning, and underneath all the pressure. So before I started coaching, I spent over 8 years in the medical aesthetics world. So I was in the sale. I have a sales background, and I built a really successful career on paper. But I just found myself like over the years doing a lot of soul searching. I was always going on like yoga retreats, and I even actually got my yoga teacher training certification a few years back, and I just have been on this personal development journey. And I was kind of searching for something deeper and more meaningful in my life. And I was constantly in this like on a hamster wheel. Like in the sales world, I was like, okay, I hit my numbers, and then I never really slowed down to really appreciate what I accomplished. And I was just always on to the next goal. And eventually I really led myself to burn out. And so I reached kind of a really low point last year in my career and just personally. My mind was really loud. I was really, really hard on myself. I've always put a lot of pressure on myself. And so I had this inner knowing that like it was just time to do something different. And I didn't know what that looked like at the time, but I decided to listen. So I took a 2 month sabbatical. I took a step back from my career. I did not have a backup plan. And I just went on this journey of really trying to heal my body and heal my mind, and really pulling back the layers and really understand like who I truly am outside of my career, right? And who I mean, what I want my life to look like. So I started studying the nervous system. I started studying the subconscious mind, and I went on this journey of really rebuilding the relationship with myself because I had truly lost myself in my work. And it was, it was not an easy journey, right? Going through that, but I started to feel so much better, and I did like a whole 180. I started waking up in the morning, and I started feeling more grounded and more connected and more clear and more calm. And I was like, whoa, who is this person? So then I stumbled upon coaching, and I was like, oh my gosh, this makes so much sense. Like all throughout my life, I was always coaching in like a different way, like through like my friends and my family, and like everyone who knew me personally. Like it was kind of a role that I took on without even realizing I took it on. Um, Long story short, I found Yes Supply because for me, like if I'm doing this, like I want the tools, I want the transformation. I love that like Yes Supply had all the science-backed tools. So I was like, yes, sign me up. And then here I am chatting with you today. So
Okay, wow, I love that. So from high achieving, like sales, all of the things to just like taking a moment to step back. And like I hear you as someone who has definitely struggled with like workaholism and just identifying so much with my career, just being able to take a break and it's like, oh, who am I as Riley and who are you as Jordan? And just really kind of like sinking into that can be like take a moment sometimes when you're so used to identifying that. And like you said, on that hamster wheel of burnout. Okay, and then you found Yes Supply, diving into the nervous system, diving into subconscious. How did you come across Reese?
So I kind of came across like just I started diving into personal development. I was like following all these people, like, I like Dr. Joe Dispenza
Hmm.
and like, I mean, all these people. I was like, sign me up, like all the science. And so, of course, I came across Reese and I started following her and then started looking at some of her students. And I knew I wanted to do that program, and I actually missed the deadline, I think, for like the fall one, which is so funny, but I was like, no worries. So then it was the one at the beginning of the year, and I'm like, yes, like this is the perfect time. It was just full body yes. Like, so I kind of just waited patiently, and it all worked out, and it's been the best decision. So
Okay, I love that. So, full body yes, what was the decision to invest in Yes Supply and in your business?
yeah, I think for me, it was really like it wasn't just about learning the tools, it was about really stepping into the coach who like I want to be, right? Who I want to become. And I just felt like from all the different like modalities and all the different certifications, like it just felt so foundational but also so transformational. So for me it was just like a no-brainer, and it just really set it apart from all the other options out there. And I was like, okay, I want something really like hands-on too. That was the other piece for me. Like I didn't want just another self-paced course. Like I wanted someone to like actually help me implement the tools and really, go like week after week so that I felt confident in actually like utilizing the tools as a coach when I graduated.
Okay, and now being a graduate as of today, an alumni, how are you feeling in terms of confidence in your journey and your experience?
Yeah, it's been amazing. I have gotten to try out my tools on a lot of friends and family. They've been amazing guinea pigs, and then also some new clients as well. But it's really amazing how incredible these sessions are. Like, I mean, there you can do a lot in a 60-minute session, a 90-minute session, and I think what's been so interesting for me is like, going through this program. Not only do you coach other amazing colleagues, but you also get to be coached and experience the tools for yourself. So for me, that was so cool because I'm like, okay, well, not only do I get to coach, but I also get to experience the tools firsthand to really understand like that perspective for my clients. So that's been incredible. But I think for me, like somebody who's done like years of personal development and then being able to like actually sit in a 60-minute session with a new coach and be coached and have like crazy shifts and transformations, like it just shows you how powerful the tools are.
Totally. And it is kind of interesting, like you're saying, as somebody who has spent so long in personal development, maybe there's like I'm like this, where it's like, do I need to continue to invest or do I just know it all and I just need to apply it? And then you get into these containers where it's like new information and it just completely changes the game. And it's like, oh my gosh, thank goodness I just continue to learn because there's just so many massive transformations to be had within different containers.
It really is.
Okay, I love that. So, what are some highlights through? Did you have any personal transformations you feel comfortable sharing, or like what were moments where you're like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad I said yes?
Oh gosh, so many, so many. So one of the ones I think would stand out, like as far as like a really big personal transformation, is the fact that you and I are sitting on a live right now today. This terrified me. I had such a visibility wound, like over the last, I mean, I didn't even realize how much it's like kept me safe and kept me small my entire life. Like I've always been the girl like who would sit in the back of the room, have a lot of things to say, but I was like too afraid to like have this like presence and like show up and take up space and, always like didn't want to step on any toes and so I think like that has been such an interesting thing, like going through this. And, I still get nervous, right? I'm human, but to be able to have the tools to really move through it and just, I guess, just really like these reframes, like having just a different perspective on, um, on really like how to show up. And like for me, it's like I feel like I'm just like my authentic self, and I really embodied this like version of me and like that next level version of me, right? So it's been such a cool transformation, and like Yes Supply has helped me so much with that and like these tools, and that's something I've really personally been working on. So when I like look back, and I did a lot of reflection today as I graduated, and I was like, oh my gosh, like just like where I am right now. And I think the other thing is just like also being like the person who can also like hold space for like real transformation for my clients is also so freaking cool. Like it just excites me. Like I wake up every single day so excited for the life that I'm building and just and who I am and who I'm becoming. So it's been amazing.
Oh, I love that. I know. And I bet the Jordan who took her 2 month sabbatical and like was like, okay, we need to take a moment is just so proud of you right now in terms of like your past self. So, and you just did it and you're going to continue to show up for your future self, which is so exciting. And that future self is looking back, being so proud. But okay, this is such a cool moment because I love when this happens when you're like, I used to have a visibility. I used to, like,
Hmm.
emphasis on used to have a visibility issue, like showing up, taking space, and then here you are, like the living transformation on live, hanging out, chatting about your experience,
Yep.
and just like how liberating that is.
It really is. I think that's like probably that's the perfect word to explain it. It's just like it's so liberating to be able to really just like show up and I always had like such a fear of like judgment and like disappointing others and like the fear of rejection. Like that was like a really deep wound of mine. So I think really being able to peel back those layers and really understand and just like rewrite those stories.
Yeah, totally. Because a lot of times we know where we want to go, but it's just there's a disconnect in the stories, like you're saying. And it's like
Hmm.
now having these tools, we've just now connected. This is where I want to go, and this is how I need to reprogram myself to get there, which is just empowering in itself.
Yeah. It's life changing. It really is. Oh, yeah.
Okay, I love that. Jordan, do you have a favorite tool or like anything that you learned in the
Mm.
S supply method where you're like, this is my jam?
Oh man. Okay, so it's hard to pick one,
Yeah.
but I have a few that I personally love. So neural energetic encoding, like I am obsessed with that, just like from a standpoint of really like releasing like emotions and limiting beliefs. EFT for me, like it's so funny. I told you guys this in the in our group, but I was like, okay, I thought I was doing EFT, but like I don't think I was really doing EFT. Like it's just so powerful, like the way that you guys teach it. So EFT is so amazing just for programming in and programming out. And then hypnosis. I love hypnosis, and that has really been a really big part of my journey. Even before I joined Yes Supply, it was a tool that I really used to really start reprogramming my subconscious mind. So I just feel like hypnosis is so powerful as well. And but there's just so many. I love being able to have a toolbox and have options and really be able to have choices to really help create real lasting transformation.
Oh, yeah. Yes, I love that. Emphasis on the toolbox. And I feel that so much, right? Like, I mean, I always ask people what their favorite is, and people are always like, oh my gosh, Riley, how am I supposed to answer that? There's so many. But it's nice to have a toolbox because some days, like you're saying, I need a hypnosis and that feels really good in the line. And sometimes
Hmm.
like I need that somatic aspect, so I need to tap it out. So
Yes.
there's such a benefit to having so many tools. And what I love about being in the cohort is like, even if you have a favorite tool, you know this, Jordan. Like sometimes you're in a breakout room and you're like, this tool is not my favorite, but whoever you're coaching, they're like, oh my gosh, this is my favorite tool
Yep.
ever. And they had such a
Yes.
massive impact. So it's so interesting. It just, even if it's not your favorite, it might be someone else's, and you get to see this massive shift. Even if, your favorite's EFT and my favorite is hypnosis, and I have a massive hypnosis shift and you have a massive EFT shift. It's so cool to see like the different reactions to different tools as well.
Yeah, that's so true. I know. There's so many layers there.
Okay, totally. So, any other like wins or anything that came up for you thinking about your time at Yes Supply and going through the cohorts?
So I would say also, I think, I'm currently working on building out my group coaching program, which is so cool. So like to start and like go through the program, and then become certified and also like go right into coaching has been so cool. So I've done some one-on-one sessions, but I'm working on building out my group coaching program. Also speaking to back to that visibility wound as well, I did my first podcast with a with Ashley, one of our amazing cohorts are in our graduate coaches as well oh my gosh, I'm drawing a blank on words right now, in our lovely cohort. But yeah, so we did a podcast episode a little while back, and that was so fun and just felt so aligned, and so that was really cool.
Oh, okay. I love that. Wait, is Ashley's is Ashley's podcast, is there video to it as well, or is it just the audio that you guys
I
did?
think there is like a small, like I think there is a video, but yeah, it's a great listen. We cover so much, but yeah, that was really fun.
Okay, I need to listen to it. That's so exciting. I didn't know that you did a podcast with her, so I am going to add that to my next walk listen.
Yes, do it.
Okay, that is so fun. So, big win, obviously, like learning all this stuff and then literally applying it to make your business, and you just graduated. So, like, that massive leap from learning all of this to then like applying it and creating a huge business. That's a massive win.
Yes, thank you.
I'm so excited for you. Okay, Jordan, what would you say to anybody that's thinking about joining the S Supply method? What's your
Mm.
words of wisdom?
Words of wisdom. Okay, just do it. Just do it. I mean, honestly, I feel like I can't. I'm gonna butcher the quote, but there's a quote. It's like if there's something that you like, don't prolong something that you want to do, right? Like, don't kick it down the road because, I don't know. I used to kind of be this person where I was like, okay, I'll do it later. I'll prolong, prolong like living our life and like showing up and doing these things when it's like, no, it's like this is what I want to do. Like, make a decision and then show up and do it. So I think it's there's something really powerful with just making the decision and like taking that aligned action. And if it feels right, like when something feels right for you and it feels aligned, and I would say just listen to that and follow it because that is your inner compass pointing you in the direction you're meant to go.
I love that. Yes, that just like taking action. Stop prolonging your life or stop like procrastinating on your
Yeah.
life. And um, sometimes the steps just kind of appear and you end up in the perfect place. We were talking about this today during graduation about how it might have just been total fate that you missed that last one because you were just meant to be in a cohort with people that you were in a cohort with. And just like what a beautiful dynamic we had in that group.
Oh my gosh, we really did. And I think what you just said is something like really powerful. It's about like you don't always see the full picture. Sometimes you just see the next step in front of you. And I know that was really true for me. In my experience, it was like I kind of did like a trust fall into the universe when I like left my corporate job. And it was like I just like knew I had to do something different. And sometimes when you take that first step, it's like that's what gives you the clarity that you're looking for, and it starts building the momentum and the confidence, and then the next step appears. And I think there's just it's something really beautiful about just like really like trusting yourself and believing in yourself and just knowing that like, hey, I know what's meant for me and I know what's right for me, and like, being that authority and like really stepping into that and owning it.
Oh, I love that. I think that all the time where people talk a lot about confidence, but really I think if you have self-trust enough to be like, I can show up and I can do this, even if it's a hard,
Yeah.
it builds confidence. So even if you don't feel as confident, if you feel like you can trust yourself to do hard things or like to take a step and not know the rest of the path, like that's really what it takes, I think, in my opinion, to be really successful is just this trust in yourself that you can figure it out.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, self-trust is literally like a magnet for success. And that's been like such a big journey for me, is like really learning how to trust myself again and like believe in myself again. And I think like that's just even like everything we're talking about from like a visibility perspective and like navigating some of these like wounds. It's like it's really backing ourselves, right? And being like, hey, like I'm not worried about anyone else because I got me, right? And I'm just gonna show up and I'm gonna be in my authentic energy, and I'm going to be who I truly am and who I came here to be. And I'm just gonna like lead from my heart space, and and that's learning how to really like lead from this place of self-trust and self-belief. And then what's beautiful about that is when you do that, things just magically align for you. Like you literally become a magnet for everything that you desire, because things are going to fall away that are not meant for you, but you're going to magnetize all the big beautiful opportunities and the people that are meant for you when you start showing up as the version of you who trusts herself and believes in herself.
Totally. And then you get to a point where it's like, holy crap, how did I even get here? And it's all like back to one decision when you
Yes.
decide to take a sabbatical or you like listen to a podcast with Reese in it or like something like that. And it's just like, oh my gosh, what about like this beautiful journey I've been on just because like I followed these little nudges.
It's so true. I saw someone just comments that someone said, "Why did it take 40 years to understand that I need to build self-trust?" It's so true. Like it's so key, but it's like as soon as you start like reconnecting and like really rebuilding that relationship with yourself and trusting yourself, it's like, man, it is. It's really powerful.
Totally. And 40 years in is better than ever. Like there's no better time to start than just like right now and like really implementing that self-trust and moving in because like even at 40 years old, you still have so much life to
Yeah,
live. And yeah, it's just so exciting.
it really is.
Okay, I love it. Well, Jordan, where can we follow you and follow along on your journey? Where are you? Where can we find you? Where can we hang out?
Yes. Oh, please, please come join. So I am on Instagram. You can follow me over at the Jordan Flynn. Um, I'm also on TikTok, but I'm not like super active over there. I'd say Instagram for now, but DM me if you have any questions. I'm currently, like I said, I'm building out my signature group coaching program. There's going to be a beta group coaching round coming up in the summer. So if you have any interest or any questions or just want to say hi, come follow me and or shoot me a DM, and I would love to connect with you.
Yay. Well, Jordan, we're so excited to follow you along on your journey. I'm so excited to see you build out your group program, do all the beta things, all of that amazing stuff. Congratulations on graduating and being an alumni. And thanks for hanging out today.
Thank you so much, Riley. This is so much fun, and just again, thank you and staff for everything. And it's been an amazing experience. And thank you for
Ah,
having me.
you're so welcome. It was so easy, so easy. You just make it so easy. You're so much fun, and I just appreciate you so much.
Bye, Riley.
Bye.